Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court just ruled you cannot use religious exemption if you work in healthcare in the state of New York and Maine. And you can best believe this is going to spread to the other states as well. So, again, if you are a healthcare worker and you work in New York or you work in the state of Maine, no exemption will be accepted. Religious exemptions are out. Mm-mm. So, this came out in the Wall Street Journal. Ladies and gentlemen, Supreme Court says no religious exemption for New York health workers. And there were people that got these exemptions and they are not acceptable. Mm-mm-mm. The court denied the request in brief written orders, as is typical for such emergency actions. The majority didn't explain its thinking. Three conservative judges, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch, said that they would allow the exemption, but it was not enough that voted for it. Mm-mm-mm. In October, the court denied a similar application from Maine healthcare workers seeking exemption from their state requirements, which lower courts rejected. Mm-mm-mm. So, as in Maine, the New York applicants in separate lawsuits argued that they were entitled to a religious exemption because state rules exempted a different category: covered workers, individuals who suffered adverse reaction. And, right now, y'all, they are not accepting anything. So, in the New York suits, nurses and other healthcare workers based their refusal on a religion objection. The workers believed that, they should be able to do their jobs and still be exempted. And the lower courts said, not so fast. not so not so fast. In response, New York State argued the requirement was no different from the longstanding rules that healthcare workers, are against getting other vaccines like measles and rubella. So they're saying this is no different. The state also said that they're claiming there's no fetuses in this thing. That's what they're claiming. So they go into, because recently Pope Francis came out and was advising and encouraging people to get what they don't want to get. And now they're riding high on what Pope Francis said. New York said Pope Francis and other Catholic leaders have been in approval of the jab scene. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops had explained that receiving, the jab scene, this is okay for people in the Catholic faith to get. So I don't know how they get to decide for other people that are not Catholic, but okay. So this governor is like an airhead in New York. So, of course, she's going along with this. The justice said remarks suggested animosity or distrust of unorthodox religious beliefs and practices. He likened Monday's decision to a case in which, on the eve of U.S. entry into World War II, the courts upheld Pennsylvania's requirement that public school students salute the American flag over religious objections from Jehovah's Witnesses. 3 years later, the court, with new personnel, reversed that decision. Like wars, the justice wrote, pandemics also produce demanding new social rules aimed to protect collective interests. With those that rules can come fear and anger that individuals unable to conform for religious reasons. Besides, it seems that nearly every other state has found it can satisfy, public health goals without coercing religious objections to accept the vaccine. So, just to let you know, the Supreme Court rules that you cannot use an application of religious exemption to get out of, you know what I'm talking about. So pay attention to this, because if this can be denied to healthcare workers, it's going to filter down into other sectors as well. This is not going to be just healthcare workers. You can best believe that. It is going to impact many people, especially if you are in a job that you are heavily interacting with people, like your police officers. It's going to hit them too. And I know de Blasio is now giving a lot of deadlines in New York City. But y'all, please tell me what you think about New York and Maine, according to the Supreme Court, cannot use religious exemption. This is going to be an interesting year in 2022. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this. This is going to be one hell of a very interesting year. I don't know, y'all. Do you see more people leaving? I sure do. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.